I teamed up with Noah from Blackthornprod to make a game in 72 hours for Ludum Dare.
Let's crush this.
Let's crush it, yes.
Plans were made.
Is it like really an interesting idea? I'm not sure.
Problems encountered.
I got some bad news for you to start the day.
Brain cells lost. And new lessons were learned.
I really tried to keep it as easy as possible, and then I was already confused that you were like, oh, maybe it's
yeah, the will you smell habits,
no.
man. It just got you.
Oh no.
I know.
Ludum Dare is one of the biggest online events where people make games together. The topic this time, keep it alive.
So, keep it alive. What could that mean? The it. The it is probably the best clue, or the most interesting part, I feel like, in that entire thing.
Interesting, yeah, I guess. Keep it, because it's like, kind of makes you think like it's a creature or like some plants or something, not like a human. The it.
Saturday morning, 8 AM, we started talking about some first ideas for our game. The clock was ticking, so we tried not to waste too much time. Overscoping has always been a bit of an issue in my game jam project, so this time I wanted to try something different, keeping it extremely simple and finishing early.
What would be cool about this idea is that it would be pretty scalable. You could start like with one trap and one kind of enemy, and it would be a pretty damn small game.
Yeah, it really can be. You're right. It's really to keep in mind that 2-3 hour prototype
exactly.
idea.
So we started bouncing some ideas back and forth. Luckily, Noah was totally in on the idea of making something small as well. Some pretty insane ideas came up, like a crazy dragon that shoots bouncy fireballs and you need to stop him from hitting himself.
Yeah, not bad. I was also thinking of like, you've got this like one little character, okay? But you control like the environment all around him, and you just got to make sure the character doesn't somehow manage to kill himself or doesn't die.
Oh yeah, that's a fun idea as well. It's definitely very scalable. Like we can start with something very simple and then grow it from there.
Exactly. There's tons of different environmental things that we could add, like from little creatures or moving traps, and lots of things to scale it with.
Just like that, we had an idea we could start working on. My job was to work on the code side of things, while Noah started making some art for the game. As we went for such a small idea, we really managed to get it up and running very, very quickly.
Oh no, I can't release it. No! Release it!
After a bit of bug fixing, there very soon was some fun to be had.
Man, okay, working nicely. Oh yes, I can drag and drop the crates. Cool. Push, yes. Oh yay! Oh nice. Oh man, this feels great. Camera's good.
That's right, Noah. I have evidence. Last time the two of us made a game together, people complained that the camera made them feel dizzy. It made them sick, Noah! Sick! Coincidence? I don't think so.
Camera's good.
The truth is, I'm just a bit disappointed in myself that I made the same mistake twice. Okay, I'm looking for someone to blame. As a matter of fact, we both didn't really notice that the camera was a bit shit. I was too busy implementing the victory and the defeat screen. Noah was too busy making art. For all we knew, things were going pretty well.
Okay. Wow. This is 2.5 hours in at the moment.
Next up, I tried to make a platform you can rotate with your mouse, which turned out to be more difficult than I thought. Just like everything having to do with rotations.
Works fine here.
Somehow something was always a bit off, so I eventually decided to go for a different approach. As I already had working boxes you could drag around, I decided to just stitch two of them together to make for a rotating platform. A cool approach that did not hold up very well.
Nope.
So cheating didn't work, back to coding it was, and luckily I managed to make it work.
Hello.
Sorry, I've missed your call.
Oh, no problem. I just wanted to make sure that you wait a second, I'm gonna do another collab.
Oh my god, we even have a cursor now.
Yes, we have a cursor. A glove.
Nice.
A scientist glove.
So piece by piece everything was starting to come together. My next task was to make the character a bit more wobbly and slimy. The way you can imagine this works is by attaching a couple of smaller circles to our main circle and then connecting them with springs. That's more or less what it is.
So like, what is the plan, you think? Should we just continue like adding individual pieces, like, you know, new enemies, new pieces of the environment stuff, or should we start like trying to create like actually really good levels?
I feel like we should try to create a minimum viable product so that at the end of the day we have something that's
finished, that we okay.
The finished game, yeah.
I got the enemies up and running, Noah added some sound, we sketched out the first two levels together and started building them in Unity. Things were going well. A bit too well, perhaps. But we didn't suspect anything yet.
Cool, okay, we have a level 1. I think this level is really good for the introduction.
Yeah, I think as well.
Excellent. Well, I'll try and make this level nicer looking. That will be, I think, my final job today.
When should we start? Tomorrow?
I think 4 in the morning.
That concluded day 1. We even stopped at a very humane time. It was still bright outside. But at night, something happened.
Master, I have bad news for you.
What is it? Don't tell me it's about the game jam.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lord Deepet. Unfortunately, Jonas and Noah made very good progress today.
No, we cannot allow that. Execute Plan C.
You're right, my lord. Why didn't I have that idea?
Good morning, Jonas.
Good morning.
I've got some bad news for you to start the day.
Perfect.
It should be quite small. But for some reason I can't collab the changes I did to the project yesterday.
We used Unity Collab to keep the project in sync, so that whenever one of us made a change to the game, the other one got it as well. But for some reason, that system was now broken.
I got an error message saying collab publish failed. Your storage quota has exceeded the limit. Manage storage in your organization's Unity web dashboards.
And you guessed it, for some reason it was not that easy to fix. Or maybe we were just too dumb. That could totally be the case.
Are you sure that you saved it?
We tried clearing storage, we tried re-importing everything into a new project. Nothing worked, so we became desperate for solutions.
What's the plan B? GitHub?
I mean, yeah, it has to be good, but that's... Oh my god, that would be so annoying.
Git does pretty much the same thing as Unity Collab, just in a slightly more confusing way.
This sure is a brutal way to start day 2. I really don't know why collab doesn't work. I mean,
yeah,
it's weird.
strange.
Never had this.
Yeah.
Never had this problem before.
And of course it came as it had to. We switched to Git.
Git, what are you doing to us? No.
Our brains were not big enough to make that work either.
I'm getting kind of the same thing we had before. Do you see my screen?
Yep.
And you see I've got these like 981 changed files. And I've got like 24 conflicts.
And do you have the new git ignore file?
I do. Actually, wait a second. We have collab with this project, don't we? Maybe I can just try collabing.
Yes, but I think I've already disabled collab.
Oh, well, it's okay. Maybe I can start again.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess you can try, but... Oh...
This is painful, man. This morning has been a catastrophe. And then it's like, oh, this is game dev at its worst.
Why is Git not working? Oh, man.
So wait, are you in the product? If I collab, will you actually see anything?
No.
So I need to invite you over. Oh!
No, I don't want to start with Unity Collab again. No.
Okay, wait. So Jonas, you're here. You're here. Collab man is so easy compared to GitHub. GitHub seems like a nightmare.
So that is the story of how we went from Unity Collab to GitHub to Unity Collab. Why did that resolve the issue? There's only one logical explanation.
I think they've suffered enough.
What? Really? But it was going so well!
I'm the god of game dev. I'm trying to be as random as possible.
Oh man, so you're importing the things then?
Seems like it.
Yeah! There we go! Finally! Man, this is gonna work. This is going to work.
What the hell? Why didn't this work this morning?
We wasted a whole morning on this.
So that was 4 hours completely down the drain. Luckily the rest of the day was quite productive. I added some more sound effects and Noah implemented some nice graphics for the first 2 levels. We're finally back into coding, hell yeah. I started adding a bit of polish, like that flashing outline when you grab an object, or this restart prompt that shows up when you get stuck. Added some particles for when you win a level.
Execute Plan F.
No way. Bruh. Got a blue screen. My entire PC shut down.
Oh really? Oh my goodness.
What the
Man.
hell?
Some of the things I did were definitely a bit unnecessary, like making the blob look at the mouse cursor. I wish I had spent that time on improving the camera movement or something like that. Time is a very precious resource during game jams, so you really have to prioritize correctly if you want to get the most out of your game. Blackthorn made this cute little opening sequence explaining how Exgar loves his little blobs and wants to teach them how to survive in the great expensive wilderness. I thought it might be cool to have a little bit of playable lore as well instead of seeing everything in a cutscene. So I prototyped a level for the end of the game where you release the blob into the wilderness, you put it into a box, you grab the box, the camera zooms out, you carry the blob over a little river and eventually release it into a cave. Game jam games in general definitely have a tendency to end a bit abruptly because the developers didn't get around to finishing it. So I think worrying about the end of the game early is definitely a good idea in game jams. Pretty glad we handled it like this. I've just implemented the transition from the cutscene to the next level, and then it fades right to the next level, which feels so nice. So by the end of day 2 we already had a fully playable game, with music, with sounds, with plenty of polish. Yes, it had only 2 levels, but considering everything that had happened at the beginning of the day, we were definitely happy. Hell yeah, Schnallteer.
Okay, we have 18 hours left. Let's call Noah, let's see if he's already there. I think so.
Good morning, Jonas.
Good morning.
So I think we should make a nice solid plan for how we can complete the game with our remaining hours.
On Monday our teamwork was quite on point. I made some new levels, Noah made some art for the new levels, and I have to say I'm really surprised by how quickly Noah managed to bring these levels to life. This is essentially what Noah got from me every time I made a new level. He then added some grass which looks like this, some nice little trees, some clouds in the background, and then last but not least some slight gradients in the foreground. What I find really baffling about this is how simple the sprites are. Like, these are all the sprites Noah used for the steps I just described. Somehow the way Noah arranges them in a level seems to make all the difference. Especially the slight gradients in the foreground are a super interesting idea in my opinion. After the jam I tried this technique for my own game, Will You Snail? And I really like how it looks. I'll definitely have to experiment with this a bit more. Even after my first 10-minute experiment, this already looks super promising, so thank you very much, Noah. Really seems like I've learned something useful from you this time. At this point, a quick reminder to wishlist the game on Steam now. The link is in the description, because that is by far the best way not to miss the launch when the game finally comes out.
We need more boss fights. Damn, I'm kind of running out of good boss fights. Have you ever asked yourself why you're here?
This is your chance to slap that wishlist button, slappers.
Time is running out.
Yes, exactly.
It's okay,
nice. The level looks nice. I like the scientist, looks very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah,
he even has an animation. Oh, that's so cute.
Exactly. So yeah, it's pretty. That's good there. I think there's really definitely a nice atmosphere to end the game. Nice and smooth. As for the levels you made, I really like that wheel. The wheel's really cool. The other one, isn't too hard. Because I think the whole vibe of the game is pretty chill and relaxed. And we want players just, I think, to complete the game because it's going to be short. So if it's easy, if it's really easy, I think that's better than if it's quite challenging.
So we really tried to make an easy game, but I say that while showing footage of me building one of the hardest levels in the game. The fact that I couldn't even get the blob into the cave myself should have probably been a red flag as well. But unfortunately we were a bit too much in our development bubble to notice these issues. Lesson learned for next time, let somebody play the game before you upload it. Even in a game jam, that external feedback could have been so useful. Like, once I saw my sister play the game after the jam, all those problems became abundantly clear. At that point it was just, too late.
So your sister found the game a little hard.
Yes.
I can understand it probably is a bit hard.
I really tried to keep it as easy as possible, and then I was already confused that you were like, maybe it's a bit too hard.
Yeah, the Will You Snail habits, man. It just got you.
Oh no.
I know.
So this is how we thought people would play the game. I just wanted it to be a nice, relaxing journey. Helping the blobs to reach the sunflower and helping players to reach their inner center with some slow and careful mouse motions. Playing like this, even the toughest challenges felt like they were nothing. You could accomplish anything. Turns out most players played the game a bit differently though. Let people test your game. I think I got it.
We've completed this project This is my 6th Ludum Dare.
Oh, your 6th one already. Wow. I think for me it's like the 4th or something like that. Yeah.
The 4th. Beginner.
So while the game didn't turn out perfect, I'm still very, very happy with the result. Ecta's Blobs feels like a very round and finished experience, which to be honest is more than you can say about most Game Jam games. Yes, it's a bit hard, it's a bit glitchy, the camera is a bit slow, but lessons were learned, and I'm sure we'll do an even better job next time. As always, Noah's art turned out absolutely amazing. It was a pleasure to work with him again.
Yeah, I'll be making a video probably tomorrow, actually. Oh, yeah. Tomorrow I'll be working the video, so I won't be working on Dashing Fire.
Noah's video about the Game Jam is already out by now, so if you want to hear the story from his point of view, go check that out. I'll link his video in the end card and in the description.
Yeah, let's record one more crazy scream then. Okay. Now
happens
everybody in your house is
3 days straight. Oh, goodness me. My eyes are bloodshot, like I'm pale, like, oh yes.
Oh no.
Like a warm bath. I should have taken a nice warm bath, actually. Shit. Oh.